Hello, it is Monday, September 26th, and that means two things. Calling what we do lighting solutions implies that lighting is solved, and that's not really the case. We can offer lighting maintenance and lot or lighting improvements, but otherwise it's all still a bit of a crapshoot. Anyway, it's time for the lighting industry news brief brought to you by Keystone Technologies, and we are talking about the Smart Loop. What is the Smart Loop? They're wireless controls. They offer you just a big step up from switches, from dimmers. It creates scenes, it creates dynamic options, it's spirited, it's real, it's better, but it's still illumination, and it's still connected lighting made easy. Go to keystonetech.com. Into the news, however, we have California setting a date for the phase-out of fluorescents. In specific tubes and CFLs, they will not be on shelves as of 2024. What's that Dead Kennedys song? ERCO calls for a new measurement standard. This is a German manufacturer wanting us to switch to delivered efficacy as how we do that, and that actually makes a lot of sense. There's some guys at UL talking about circadian stimulation as a standard. It means you have to certify the install, not the product, but maybe viable. Totally a thing. Could be a thing. The CEO of Astronics has bought 5,700 shares for not quite $50,000. That deal went down on the 15th. The National Association of Manufacturers don't like the looks of Q3. Costs will continue to go up, supply chains will continue to rattle in unpredictable ways, and we're all just going to have to tough it out. Meta Lighting has partnered with a trade school for a 6-week course as part of their Career and Technical Education Center. The Design Excellence Awards at Lightspec West have been presented at Lightspec West, the event that happened last week. Winners and runners-up are all enjoying that. We have a new UV nanostructure breakthrough with easier LEDs for the UV side of the spectrum. Is that still a thing we all care about? Leave a note in the comments. You can also vote for the coolest thing made in Wisconsin, which includes Cree LED's faux skylight thing that I do think is cool. I don't know if it's the coolest thing in Wisconsin, but I do think it's cool. The U.S. Department of Transportation has announced $59 million in grants for lighting upgrades in 4 states related to where highways cross railways. Anyway, if you're in California, Florida, New York, or Pennsylvania, you might be able to improve a intersection, as it were. In legal news, CAO versus Signify has been dismissed on the grounds that it was filed in the wrong jurisdiction, and Iran has sued Morlux over trade secrets. We'll see how that goes. In rep agency news, Allied Electronics and Automation has added 5 new suppliers. In events, you can register for NAED's South Central Conference. That'll run in February into the 1st of March in Orlando. So that's the thing. In IoT news, we have 7 firms forming the PoE consortium to push wired options for controls. Ericsson reports on property value and IoT. This is based on an EU study on energy savings in the property management sector. In integrated home competition, recognizes devices with 17 products named. And NVIDIA, maker of computer components, has funded Passive Logic, a smart building firm, to the tune of $15 million. In recommended reading, we have the IES's Lifetime Achievement Award winners being interviewed. We have a disparity of lighting conditions in hybrid offices. We have daylighting that might mean more than just efficiency. We have a case study of lighting in the UK's National Health Service. We have a fun little podcast where we discuss whether or not the thing on the walls at Dendera is a light bulb. No, it probably is not. Ancient Egyptians probably did not have light bulbs. We have a better understanding of storage. We have a discussion of what happens after LEDification. We have a recap of Lightspec West, a recap of ArcLight, and a recap of Recolight, and a really good piece on how to sell controls. All these were on nailed.org right now. In market projections, we have $8 billion for LED tubes. We have 4% growth for the entire lighting market. We have 7% gains for home automation. We have the LED lighting market will be reaching $121 billion in value. We have 4% gains in emergency warning lights and 22% expansion in commercial and or industrial IoT applications. In research and development, Berkeley, UBerkeley in California, seems to think that daylight savings time makes us jerks. Seasonal sleep disruptions might impair our moral reasoning. We have a third-party lab validating Fraunhofer Lighting's claims about human-centric lighting products that they make. UCLA has some recommendations for circadian health and teen sleep. We have NextGen creating point-like drivers. We have Vanderbilt U building a better SAD lamp by testing on med students. We have Tongji U expanding on Zhejiang U's study on CC2 tuning for mood and study conditions. And graphene composites might replace aluminum heat sinks with a single atom's width of graphite lattice. That's pretty cool. In Dark Sky News, Liz Parkinson has received an NSF fellowship for her research on allen and insect research. Maui, Hawaii is moving ahead with their bird bill. Boulder City is starting their retrofits for Dark Sky. The University of Exeter is highlighting the health risks of more blue light as Europe LEDifies. We have a discussion of turkey metabolism and blue light. We have a new measurement method for uplight based on some drone photography from University of Guelph. We also have discovered that light at night might be a threat to your lawn. If that matters to you. Advocates call for lights out across the Midwest. Fort Worth and Dallas will be dimming their lighting as part of migration season. The Energy Trust of Oregon is offering cash incentives for light pollution reduction. We have 300 EU municipalities dimming or darkening in relation to current events, but also maybe that leads to something that we know. We have Adelaide, Australia, charting Starlink chains. Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, addressing light pass laws. We have BC astronomers condemning those same satellite chains. And Fairfax, you might recall from last week, their county was about to pass some laws limiting lighting, but individual residents are claiming their freedoms to be light polluters or something. I don't know. It's all incoherent and vague, but freedom. Rah-rah. Municipal politics carries on. In horticultural news, we see a return of the 34th rule of acquisition, reminding us that war is good for business because as things going on in Ukraine limit sunflower oil, if you're growing other vegetable oil products indoors, you could benefit. That's how that goes. Fluence's Viper has been picked by Wageningen University as their LED partner for their indoor horticultural research center. In People News, Errol Kirilamaz will be leaving Ledvance. Haversham Chitale has been proposed as a signified board member. Megan Carroll has joined Lighting Services as a regional sales manager. Speaking of regional sales managers, Earthtronics has added Bill T. Liberto as one. Deepa Manikath Haridas and Felix Trimmer have been hired at Agritech. Claude Demby is now the president at Cree LED, and Pierre-Jean Bayliner is now the co-CEO of OLEDcom. They make Li-Fi stuff. In local news, Clifton Avenue, Chicago is the first such avenue to have string lights crisscrossing it. Walmart is retrofitting 41 stores in Missouri. Alexandria Lighting opens a new showroom in Alexandria, Virginia. Portsmouth will be commemorating Breast Cancer Awareness Month with two kinds of pollution, the light kind and the kind where your lanterns are just left in the water. Boston plans to go fully LED on streets and on public buildings, at least on the exteriors. Antlers, Oklahoma is swapping out their streetlights. Hunton Power and Light changes their name. Vancouver, BC is the latest and greatest city to go purple. We have a discussion of how a LaGrange, Illinois high school retrofit project that was costed at $19,000 ended up costing $700,000. Belle Isle, Michigan has a new computer model for light savings. In international cases, the pyramid at the Louvre, going lights out. Novograd, Russia has debuted illuminated crosswalks. Belgium is joining a perfectly sensible plan that's existed for decades on the Autobahn by not having lights on highways. And Munich plans to have a fully lit Oktoberfest if you were planning on going. In things you can make, we have a diode laser for cutting metal. We have a mechanical color picker if you know hex codes. We have 3D printing glass with lasers. We can have an LED cube that does keyboard shortcuts, or you can make a LED pipe clock. And if you're in Berlin for their art week coming up soon, Jan Kuck is touring his new neon sculptures there. Until next time, I've been Skywalker. Thank you to Nailed. Thank you for listening. If you have already convinced your colleagues to listen to this show or watch it on live stream, just download it twice. That helps me out a lot. If you haven't downloaded it twice, tell someone else to download it twice. Until then, though, enjoy the week, enjoy your music.
Avec une nuit de cette taille et la lumière en deux temps, tu devrais être honnête. Poursuivre une fille qui ouvre les portes de la ville toute violette. Dessine ma carte. Je l'ai dit hier, il faut lancer le sort. C'est là le sens de l'effort. C'est là que tu cherches et que tu mens. C'est là que tu sais très fort. Je file la soie qui serre nos corps. C'est là le sens de l'effort. C'est l'importance de la mort. C'est tellement peu prononcé. Je n'aime pas trop la musique et la colère. Quelquefois me prend pendant la fête. Oui, j'aime une fille d'une autre époque, un peu moins vile, en tout cas dans ma tête. Déchire